I have to give Ben Cairns a ring here to get the chainsaw over. Hello, Benjamin. How are we doing? Not too bad, that is great. Where's that chainsaw you bought about 6 months ago to build some fence? I mean, I know you're not going to be done until 2023 with it, but we would love to have it. That mile of fence you should have built a long time ago. Thank you, would appreciate that.
Greg and I are just looking at some used equipment that we're wanting to pick up, and driving out in the field, all of a sudden, truck's dead. So what happened? We're out of fuel. I said, what? And he's like, oh, Dallas, it's not a big deal. Remember Phil said, if we ever need something, just call him.
And if there's anything I can do for you, don't hesitate to call or email me anytime. 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 Anytime.
I was like, oh yeah, I'm sure that's what he meant. If you're too stupid to ever worry about putting fuel in, just call a helicopter, buddy. That's what he meant, yeah. Anyways, that's what we had to do.
Well, thanks a lot for coming to do this for us, Phil. Man, we're in quite a bind.
Absolutely, boys. Any time for you.
This is a potential new client of ours, and we're hoping to land this job. And if we didn't get there, they're threatening to, this is your chance. If you either make it or you don't.
You better make it.
As Dallas and Greg make every effort to get to Calgary in time for their meeting, Tyler and Mike work on a new side project.
Hey, Megafoot, what's happening here? This is me and the brother. This is what we do on our days off or time to just the dog a little bit, so we do this. Okay, stop making noise. We gotta have
we gotta make it look like we're working for
we're gonna have just a regroup session here. So what are we putting on here? Are we just gonna have this on a flip door so when we drive up to the unloading dock, we can just flip it down and drop them right?
Like convenience.
Yeah. So this is like, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we've got another 6 we're building here. The roadkill in 317 right now is just going through the roof, and we're their #1 supplier. So, yeah, I mean, all I can say, this is almost perfection in its finest. The carpenters boys here just doing what they're good at. We sell these things for about $3.50 a piece, which is very reasonable. But I mean, if you want them like varnished and shit, we can also do that for you, but that adds another maybe $6 grand to the cost, What are we gonna call our company?
I should have thought that before we started this.
Well, we don't have a company name yet. Like, we're working under OSY Rentals right now. So anyways, you are looking at it. We got 4x4s. They're even treated, so you can put them in the ground, not a problem. And these things last a lifetime. Cheap, very convenient. Just bring your trailer and we're good to go. We'll load you up. We can even hand bomb these things, however you prefer to have them loaded. Yeah. Dallas is really thinking about going big into casket building these days.
Back in the foothills, Phil is doing his best to get Greg and Dallas to Calgary as fast as possible.
Oh, we'll get there in time, no worries. I think we should be there in about 15 minutes.
Phil drops us off right downtown Calgary on a helipad in Eau Claire. We then have to run as fast as we can, which isn't very fast, but it was fast for us. Running on ice, running in the snow, running past people. We're knocking people off of bikes and bicyclettes and skateboards and segways, scooters. And we have to get to this meeting, and we did. And we made it. And we sealed the deal. Hello. We made it.
How you doing?
Everything just worked out perfectly. It couldn't have been better, other than we have to go back and now get Greg's truck because he's a idiot.
At the shop, Chad is Mike and Tyler off the coffins and back working on a tank so they can get it ready for a new client.
When Dallas and Greg are gone, we seem to get a lot more done. Nobody comes out here for a smoke break talking to us. Nobody's in the office talking for half an hour. Or just seems like everybody's working. The one that just came back yesterday from Bow Island that had to get the gauge board put back on. Mike did a whole bunch of stuff in the building that he was putting all back together. The piping was all took apart, and as soon as the client needs it, we'll be ready for him.
Back in Calgary, Tim is scheduled a one-on-one with Dallas to go over some of the year's successes and shortcomings.
We've sold over 100 trucks. I think my reputation alone has sold 108 of them probably. This isn't a pat myself on the back moment by any means, but I just want you to understand that you need to keep me happy and you need to do your part. Otherwise this thing will stop. Okay? That's it. You know, because I could snap my fingers and in 2 weeks you're going to be trying to turn your 2-bit lentil farming operation into some multi-million-dollar family plan for you and your 6 kids. And I would be quite sure it's not going to work. You're not going to have $19,000 automated lawnmowers growing average lentils in shitty country. I had pressure at the start for people wanting to take my talents to a lot of bigger markets. You know, you understand the pressures I had from the Cubans in Miami, and that there's sort of the Hispanic influence in LA wanted me down in LA. And I thought, well, you know what? In Western Saskatchewan, I'm not going to get the metropolitan environment. I'm not going to get the professional services as local as I'm used to, but I'm going to get good, hard-working, honorable people. And at the risk of sounding a little bit blunt and brash, you've bastardized it. As I discussed with him upstairs, I'm about this far from going back to other people that have recruited me to build this kind of business empire with them, from the Cubans in Miami to the Amish in Western Pennsylvania, and I may just start this thing all over again. The Amish have created some challenges. They want all the engines out of there, they want the diesel out of there, and that's going to cause some performance problems, certainly with the equipment. But I'll tell you what, there's days where I'd rather get rid of the engines, I'd rather get rid of the diesel than deal with your brother.
Isn't that the truth?
Correct.
Yeah.
Hey. Beats all bitches.
Wow. 3 seasons of Oh Shit Yeah. This show has already lasted longer than my first 2 marriages.